And right, so it gives me great pleasure. The last of the season, we've got the fantastic Finn OMARA with us. I've already said he's the ginger assassin, a tremendous centre half who helped turn our season around. So, Finn,
don't be silly. Cheers.
Don't be silly. If we want to talk silly, we're going to talk about that interview you did for Folkestone. Chinning a rhino. What was all that about?
Chinning a rhino?
Yeah.
Yeah, or a gorilla.
Gorilla, was it?
Yeah.
Well, you did some Folkestone interview, and it was about 7 minutes long, and they were asking you all sorts of bizarre questions.
Yeah. Like what's your favourite?
Fight a gorilla. What would you fight, and what would you try and knock out, and all this sort of stuff? And you said you're going to chin a rhinoceros or something.
That was a young Finn, I think.
Yeah, the best one was the best one was what's your favourite jam, and you said Aldi.
I've got a bit of a screw loose, I think.
That was brilliant. I nearly fell off my chair.
That just shows the wages at Folkestone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's shopping at Waitrose now.
We'll have a look at Waitrose next.
Yeah, you're going to make Billy have an heart attack there.
Nah.
Actually, I'll introduce everyone else and I want to get back to you, Finn. So obviously we got Windy Gale.
Of course.
We've got Malcolm. We've got Smithy. We've got very quiet, flat white Andy.
Yep, just snuck in.
Hey, Andy.
So what are you being long black now then?
No. We might have we'll think about a rebrand. Think about a rebrand in the summer when I've spoken to my people.
All right. Okay. Oh dear. Right. And we've got the lounge lizard himself, Goat Sledgewaller, Leon. Pleasure for you to be here, Leon, mate. And of course, Linda straight Matt. You really must change that, Matt. You stop being Linda.
Oh, I'm not a tech person, mate. As you know, I do tools. She does tech. That's how it goes in our house.
Okay. Well, we'll all ask her politely, please.
It's a nice 21st century house there.
Obviously, we've got the wonderful Finn on. I just quickly on that interview, you were saying that you're a big Millwall fan.
Yeah.
They're not half bad at the moment. I've been down the old den, the new den, but that was the 80s. It was a bit different. What's it like following Millwall at the moment?
To be fair, the last sort of 4 or 5 years, I've sort of not really followed them as much, to be fair, just where I've been sort of focusing on my football. But I used to have a season ticket with my dad and a couple of his pals, and we used to go down there every Saturday and sometimes during the week. But we was going every week when we had that FA Cup run where we beat
Swindon.
Yeah, no, that was a playoffs. We beat someone in the FA Cup at home. I can't remember who it was now. It was quite a big team, and Danny Shittu scored one of the goals. And I always I always watched Danny Shittu, and I wanted to be that sort of powerhouse a little bit. But yeah, I do enjoy watching Millwall.
Because funny that I went because I'm a QPR fan originally, and obviously Danny Shittu went over to QPR afterwards, didn't he? Or did he? Yeah. No, actually, he came from QPR.
Did he come back? Yeah, he come back. QPR,
yeah. What a player! Just absolutely on his sleeve. Like he cleared. Oh my God! If he was coming in trying to clear a ball out, about 8 players got taken away as well.
Yeah,
magnificent player. But
just a real powerhouse, isn't he? Really, as a centre back, sort of talk about them old school centre halves when you talk about Vidic and players like that, where they just do what their job is. He could play every now and again, but his main role was to defend and to do what a defender's got to do, and it really and do it well.
Okay, right. Okay, so do we want to talk about Sevenoaks? Do we want to say? I mean, Finn? We're a little bit of an off day for the team. I mean, what was it? Do you think just everyone was in holiday mode? What was it? Or was Sevenoaks good?
To be fair, I know one of the fellas, and I spoke to him, Freddie Parker, who's gone down there since the new manager's come in, and I said, you boys have been doing really well. He went, he's just a really good manager. Like in terms of when he come in, even the management I know one of the assistant manager, and he said that fortunately for us, every player left when we joined. So they literally had a fresh budget, a fresh everything. So that's all their players. So it's a completely different Sevenoaks side that was bottom of the league a couple of months ago. So it's almost like a half decent side. But I thought they played well. Obviously, we had an off day. I don't know. Some of us may have been in holiday mode already because it was done, and there was no real need to win. But it would have been nice to, especially at home, to sort of end it on a high note. But I think for some players, it's hard to just find that little bit of extra motivation.
Yeah.
But again, that comes with sort of maturing as a player and stuff like that, which is understandable. But yeah, it was an off day. But I thought, as I said, Sevenoaks, I think they'll be contenders for next season. To tell you the truth, I think they'll do really well next season, and they deserve to be up there, especially what the new manager's done in the last sort of 2 months or something.
Yeah, it's like 8 on the bounce, isn't it?
Just
so
ridiculous. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Won't talk about Sevenoaks too much.
No,
Still annoys me.
But it was nice to see. I mean, obviously, we saw Knory's mum, and it was nice that Knory got a goal for his mum.
Yeah, that was nice. I think that was a good thing about Saturday. Like all the lads really loved Knory, and we sort of hammer in and stuff like that. And you got to shoot. Like, well, he had that shot in the first half, and there must have been about 12 people all go up to him at half time. He said, "Next time, shoot Knory. Don't just pass it to the goalkeeper." So. Yeah, but we do like Knory. I'm happy that he did get his goal, even if it wasn't as magnificent as he wanted it to be. It's a goal at the end of the day.
It's a goal, yeah.
You see how much it meant to him, and he deserves to get the man of the match, really. And he's doing it in front of his family. Can't beat that, really. That's the best thing about football, especially when you're doing well in front of your family and stuff like that, and they see it. And yeah, I'm happy for him. Hopefully we can just next season he can hit the ground running. I think all it takes, it's a shame that he scored the goal in the last game of the season. If he had scored the goal 5-10 games ago, he would have probably got about 4 or 5. It's just getting that momentum and getting going. Hopefully he can bring it on for next season, really.
You didn't need that though, because you just come along and like, oh, all right, I'll have an overhead kick. What's that about?
I thought I was a player. I still think I'm a player. I don't know how I've done that. Still to this day.
That was.
Nor do we.
Oh my god!
Craig
believe it, mate.
Craig came up to me after the game and just went, "I still just can't comprehend how you've done that, Flynn." I was like, "Neither do I." I said, "I come up from a blur." I said, "I had a blackout," and I woke up and I was celebrating in front of the fans.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you dine out on that at every given opportunity? Because we all would, without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris, can you hear me?
Look, it's an absolute pleasure that you're on, Craig.
I've just been listening to Finn for the last 10 minutes, which is a shame. I got to the bit when he was talking about his goal, and then it luckily cut off. And so,
Craig, you get home safely, all right?
I struggled listening to you for 10 minutes. Made it harder.
Craig,
put it on mute.
Craig, what's the key to what you think to your centre back partnership? Because obviously you've been magnificent, the both of you this season. I mean, are you the? Oh, hang on, are you the man in the relationship? I shouldn't say that, but like are you who's leading who?
Who wears the trousers?
Who wears the trousers? That's it. Go on.
Well, obviously that one's obviously me, but I think I win that by age. I think that's the only reason. But no, we've known each other quite a while, me and Finn. So obviously with the Gillingham connection, we've known each other for quite a while, and then I've obviously seen him around locally as well, doing some pre-season training, different bits and pieces, and we've spoken quite regularly beforehand. So the fact that we knew each other obviously helps, and got a bit of a connection there with, as I say, with Gillingham and different bits and pieces. We've been playing at Folkestone and people I knew at Folkestone, and he knows the same sort of circle of people. So that really helps. And then I think Finn's style and my sort of style kind of complement each other quite well. And I think the biggest thing was when obviously Gaz got the job and left, it was and sort of didn't want to continue playing. He wanted to manage. It was my biggest worry was who I was going to play alongside, because Gaz had been so good for me, really, not just the partnership, but he was really good for me because he complemented how I sort of played as well. Finn's come in and done exactly the same. So if not, probably a younger version of Gaz. So, you know, Finn's going to be around for a long, long time. He's got a good future ahead of him. And to be honest, since the first game he's come in, he's got better. So I mean, that's credit to him. I heard Gaz say a few weeks ago that he knows where sort of it can take Finn, consistently playing games of football at whatever level. He wasn't playing at Folkestone as much as what he should be, and now he is. And who knows where he can go. But it's great. I mean, we get on really well. We have car school and stuff like that as well. So and we've known each other for quite a while. So I just try and help out where I can. He helps me where he can, you know.
Can I ask, out of the pair of you two, obviously, like you're both capable of scoring goals, and especially like the first 20 minutes of games, you both tend to push up and effect from set pieces. Do you have a bit of sort of banter between the two of you before games as to who's going to try and get one?
To be fair, Craig, what does he say? He always, I think it was on Saturday, I had a chance to score. And I put it over the bar, that header. And he looked at me, he's gone, "Oh, Finn." Cheers, Finn. You've let the fans down. Cheers, mate.
But not usually. I mean, we both go up anyway, so usually it's we just decide where we're going to go. And actually, we normally say to each other, "Should we go and score, should we?" or something like that. I mean, Finn gets near more than me, to be honest. They don't really seem to come anywhere near me, but
you just get the assist, Craig, don't you?
He's got a bigger head than most, so. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to remember two of Finn's goals have come from my assists. So one day he returned the favour, I guess.
That was one of my favourite moments of the season when you set up, you put it on the plate for Finn. I can't remember who it was against, but like when you two celebrated, you could just see there was a wonderful bromance there between you two. It was actually beautiful to see. I think most fans like did their hammies in just watching you twist and turn that defender in and out, Craig.
Yeah, I did mine a few times. I think I did them and then untangled them, I think.
Oh, Craig.
Yeah.
I think I do enjoy playing with Craig because like we said, like on the first game that we played, it was Craig. It was the first game. Was it 3 bridges away?
Probably right,
3 bridges. Yeah. And I can't remember what I'd done, but I must have. We'd done well the whole game, and I think it was either 0-0 or 1-0 to us. And Geezer must have just slipped round me, and he's gone through a goal. And Craig's at the halfway line, and this fella's probably about near the goal. Next thing I just see Roadrunner, Craig, they go, come out of nowhere, take this fella out, get the ball, and I'm thinking, oh right, I've never had that before, where I make a mistake and someone helps me out, and it sort of works both ways. But yeah, I think from that game I knew that it was gonna have a good sort of partnership and see how far it got us. But it's got us to the league, thankfully.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
I reckon Gillingham could do with both you two at the moment.
Oh, I tell you, they could.
They're not doing so. They're not doing so well, are they?
They couldn't afford Craig's wages, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, my phone keeps ringing, Finn. So yours must be.
I'll have to buy 2 phones, Craig.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
That game at Three Bridges, Finn, it was interesting how quickly you said. One thing we noticed was that you just played so comfortably straight away, and you'd been sort of like washing around at Folkestone, not getting many games and that. How easy was it? Why did it feel so comfortable slotting in, and how were you feeling before that move? Because it's still a mystery to us how Folkestone let you go. We've talked about this before on the podcast. What was going on for you to be released by them? Because you settled in and looked like a footballer the moment you started playing. You didn't look rusty, and then obviously things got better. What was going on there?
I think it's just like I said, football's all about opinions. I think everyone knows that, and it's just a shame that it didn't work out. Like I did really enjoy it at Folkestone, and I was there for 4 or 5 years, and it was really good. The change room was really good. Like all the lads was in there, and that's what I enjoyed mostly. That's what I was worried about. Sorry, to go in, come into Hastings very, very first, just because the change room at Folkestone was so good. Like, all the lads, I really enjoyed being around them. Like, we'd always go out and stuff like that. And in terms of like families, it was really good. And that's what I was worried about coming to Hastings, in case it wasn't the same. Because if you're around people that you want to be friends with, then when it comes to football, it just makes it so much easier. And to be fair, from the first training session on the Thursday when I came into Hastings, it was like, oh, wow, this is a really good dressing room. Like, I spoke to Sam Hassler. He's the one that sort of sorted it all out, and he said, yeah, the change room is really good. All the lads are bang on. There isn't any bad eggs. Yeah, from that, I just thought, when you're, like I said to you, when you're playing with people you want to play with, it's so much better. You actually enjoy it a lot better. But yeah, I just think football's about opinions, and it's a shame it didn't work out at Folkestone, but everything happens for a reason, and yeah.
I don't think it's a shame. But
yeah, their loss is our game. Jesus. I mean,
we should talk about the Haywards Heath one, where the ball bounced right between the two centre halves, and the guy went on to score, make it 2-0.
How did I know it wouldn't take long to pipe up? I knew that was coming.
You see, Jerson, who scored, he was at Folkestone, so he wanted to get a move. So me and Craig said, if we let him score 2, then he can get a move somewhere else.
Oh, got you, yeah.
It's just making some interest within the league, because we knew what we were going to do, and so we knew we were going to go and win it by 13 points or whatever it was. So it doesn't need to be 16 points, does it?
Yeah.
That was all. And that was Finn's fault as well, not mine.
I got dragged, didn't I? So it wasn't mine.
Actually, chaps, talking of the league we're going to, the Isthmian Prem, obviously you've got a great amount of experience there. You've played up higher up the leagues, but the league we're going to now, I mean, what's the biggest difference that us Hastings fans are going to find in terms of, in what way is it going to be more difficult for you chaps? I mean, what to look out for?
I think it's more for us centre backs. I think it's more like every now and again you'll sort of like switch off for like a second. Even like the last sort of a month, I'll switch off for a second and say the centre forward's gone through on goal, and Louis will make a really good save, or the fellow will put it over the bar, or slip over the ball, or something like that. That doesn't happen, and I think it doesn't happen as much. You've got to be focused 24/7. If you look away with the fairies for a second, that fellow would be in on goal, and then it'd be 1-0. And I think it's just that staying concentrating 24/7 and thinking about off the ball and stuff like that. Like what Gaz and John's been doing is this thing called the lock-up, where it's you've got to set it up so that you don't prepare to foul, and we're always going to be focused 24/7 when we've been doing it. Like that's why I think we've got so many clean sheets. In that we had a run of 9 clean sheets or something more than that, and that's just down to us focusing 24/7. And for us and for me, I'll give the ball to the people that can play football, and I'll worry about everything else. I'll worry about my jobs, you worry about your jobs. I think it's just staying concentrated for the whole 90 minutes and not having that 10 minutes at the start of the second half. Like, I feel like the last couple of months, the second half we'd come out, we'd be a bit down, and we'd take a bit of time to get going. But in the league above, it's not like that. You can't have a 10-minute off spell, because if you have a 10-minute off spell, you could be 4-0 down. And like it happened just before I left Folkestone, we played against Carl Shorten, and I was on the bench. We was 5-0 down within the first 40 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. Away to Carl Shorten, and that's game over. You're never coming back from that. You're coming down 5-0 down away from home. But yeah, what do you think, Craig?
I think Finn's right. I mean, there's not masses, it's not huge jump.
I don't kind of go into it thinking that there's anything for us to fear and to worry about. But I mean, the standard it sounds pretty obvious, but the higher levels you go up, the better the players are. And majority of the teams are better. So you're dealing with, you're not getting as many games that what I would probably call that we've had comfortable this season, where you're going into games thinking there's not, we can be at half pace and we're probably still comfortably going to go and win the game. You're not seeing as many of those sorts of games in the league above, and the higher you go up again, it's just less of those games occur, and the games get tougher and tougher. Players get fitter, players get better in terms of technical ability and potentially take things a little bit more serious. You know, it's the higher levels you go up, some of these players, it's their careers, it's their livelihoods. You know, when you look at someone that like Finn, who we've got from the Ryman Premier, you know, how old are you, Finn? 23, 24? You know, still with a big future in front of him, and still with a hell of a chance in the game. So, you know, taking it seriously, whereas some people potentially at our level may have given up on that hope slightly. So yeah, the league gets stronger. There's teams that get stronger. You're looking at the top 6 or 7 teams in that league. You know, big budgets, good sides, been around it a long time, and they know what they're doing. But then, you know, we're a huge club. We're a huge club for the level that we're at. You know, it's even more. We're just as much of a huge club in the league above as well. So we'll go into that level, and teams will expect us to go in there and straight away do well from the start and to cause them problems. You know, so yeah, nothing to fear. But same as what Finn said, it's the levels you go up. There's slight differences in ability. That's just you know, goes without saying.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's in this league, it's more some people are just doing it for a bit of money or just to do it for the weekend. And the league above, people are trying to get a move and get back into the league and try and actually take it seriously. And like a pal I used to play football with, Ira Jackson, who's now at where is he at now? He's at Wiltstone. He didn't have a job, and his job every day, he'd go down the park and he'd train for 5 hours straight every day.
Wow.
And he sacrificed money, as in getting 2 sources of income, and he'd just go down the park and just train for hours. And obviously he got what he wanted, and he got his move. Obviously went to Grimsby in League 2, but like what Craig said, the ability goes up and the seriousness of games go up, and like people prepare for it a lot better in terms of Friday night, instead of going out for a meal with your missus, having a couple of pints, you're indoors, chicken and rice, water.
You're going to be all right next year. We were talking about it last week. You played against higher league teams this year in cup competitions, and you handled yourselves really well, didn't you? So I reckon you'd be fine.
I think with the support that Hastings give as well, that's got to be extra sort of motivation and make big games easier.
Yeah.
And just to touch on what you were saying a minute ago, that some of the games this season have been really comfortable, and like Faversham at home, for example, was a thumping winner. East Grinstead was a thumping twice. There's going to be less of that next season, isn't there? Yeah. But I don't think there's anyone who's looked at this team and thinks, even with no one else, we're not going to struggle, are we? No way.
No. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think, like Craig said, in the league we've just been in, you turn up to games and you know you're going to win 3 points, just because even if we don't turn up, and we've still got the quality just to sort of get through the 90 minutes and win a comfortable 2-0, 3-0. But again, next season there's nothing to worry about, but it's more everyone's just got to be switched on. If you're not switched on, then you'll get found out straight away. But yeah, I don't think we've got anything to worry about. We got the quality.
Any games you chaps are looking forward to, meeting up with old sort of friends or rivals that you want to make
looking forward to Folkestone.
That'd be a great game, wouldn't it? That'd be a great one.
I think it will. I think we'll. I don't mean to be rude to Folkestone, but I feel like we might have more fans than them.
We've got to make sure we have more fans.
In terms of away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do enjoy playing against Margate away, believe it or not.
My missus says she'd love to go Margate, so that's a good one. I'm there for Margate.
That'll be nice.
It's quite a nice little. We usually, when we was at Folkestone, we used to play them on either Christmas Day, not Christmas Day, Boxing Day or New Year's Day. So it made, obviously, where it was a derby, it made it a lot better. But I don't think I've lost against Margate, believe it or not. So hopefully I can keep that.
Keep that going, please, Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd just be nice to go to some different grounds, because obviously the last 3 seasons we've been going to.
Hold on, Craig. Are they my boots behind you?
No, that's Paul Gascoigne's boot, that, mate.
Oh,
yeah, signed Gazza. No, you wouldn't. That wouldn't be yours now. Yours is framed down in the living room, mate. Your one.
Oh, right, perfect.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, in the bin somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to go to some different clubs, and it's just nice, especially for the club as well, that have been struggling to get out of this division for quite some time. It's nice for the fans to be going somewhere different, and sort of we'll take some big following, I would have thought, for next season, especially for a lot of the stadiums being new and a lot of the places being new for a lot of the fans. And as Finn said, we'll pack, in terms of away fans, we'll take a hell of a lot to most places, and then at home, I'm sure we'll be breaking 1,000 regularly, 1,200, and pushing on maybe 1,500 regularly. So, in terms of there's lots of, I mean, when you get as old as I am, there's lots of players that are out there that I'll be playing against that I know that as there was sort of this year. So, it'd be nice to see some different people, and who knows where people end up this stage of the season. There's lots of football turns around and players go and move different places. So, but it's been a nice change for Hastings to be playing against different teams.
Malcolm's very quiet today. Why is he so quiet? What's this about?
I'm always quiet when Craig's around.
Yes, he knows best.
Is he signing next year then? I didn't think he was signing next year.
Nothing's been confirmed yet, Malcolm.
Nothing's been confirmed.
No,
I haven't heard from Gary about negotiations.
Craig, you free agent?
Technically, Chris, I'm a free agent. Yes, yeah, I'm a free agent.
Malcolm's stirring, and he's doing this on Saturday.
My contract finished the last game of the season, so same as everybody else.
Billy, sign him up.
Unlike Finn, he's the only one that's still signed on. So the rest of us are just we're going to get Saturday out of the way. We've got a nice little celebration on Saturday, and then we'll all sit down and talk to Gaz and after that and see where we go.
Talk turkey.
I'm going to start a new group chat, Craig. I'm going to invite people as they sign a new contract.
Yeah, you invite in whoever you want, Finn, and then maybe it's up to you, really.
Leon, I'm his agent, so I'm like Pogba's brother. Then I have to stir it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, God help him. Fucking hell.
So what, you've got £10 million signing on fee, have you? Yeah.
How do you? I mean, I must admit, it's quite funny. Finn being the age he is, and I already think of him as a senior player. I think that probably illustrates the impact you've had. How do you two feel about the squad at the moment? Do you think there'll be many comings or goings, or do you think there are any areas we need a bit of strengthening? I think the one thing I think about is
centre off by the looks of it, he's off.
I would just think about that. The one thing you talked about, both of you, I think, is that week to week now, it might become more of a grind, mightn't it? Because games are going to get tougher. You won't get a mental break like you got this season. You almost got mental breaks some weekends, didn't you? Because of the nature of the game. I think Malcolm even referred to Craig being bored in one of the games. Do you think we need topping up, or do you think this squad is good enough?
I think Craig first, and then go on, Craig.
Yeah. Yes, I do think we have to improve the squad because I think that's just the nature of it when you're going up to another level. You're right in what you're saying. I think we probably need a couple of more bodies in certain positions. You've got at the moment there's me and there's Finn in terms of centre half, and other players can sort of do a job, but whether they get another centre half in, whether they, obviously Harvey Mapstone, who come in, did great against Lance, so whether Gary looks at potentially bringing younger players in to help in those positions. But then I do think as you go up the levels, I do think you've got to ride with that. And how Gary does that, I don't know whether that's obviously entirely down to him, and it's me and Finn can't really answer that. But do I think there'll be some new players in? Yes. I just think that's the nature of football anyway. And I think that would have been the case with whatever level we were in. But especially going up into a league that is stronger, and it is, it is more, it's better because it's the league above. So I do think there will be some people coming in. How many? That obviously depends on, one, budgets, and two, how many Gary feels that we need. So I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But I do see probably a few players will probably come through the door.
Craig knows it. We've both played the in the Prem. It seems like a very long season. I don't know about you, Craig. Did you feel that?
What, playing in the Prem?
Yeah, it seems like it's a long season, like very demanding, especially when you're in the cups and like you don't get the odd game where it's like an easy 3 points. Every game's tough. I think, and you especially at Folkestone, I don't know if it was where it was an older squad. We'd get a lot of injuries, and then you're bare minimum, and you haven't got a good bench. And I feel like just getting the bodies in really, but we've got enough bodies anyway. We've a couple of games we've left a couple of players out of the squad. Yeah, I think it's just getting the bodies in and just being ready for it. Really, I think we'll be all right. But like Craig said, it's always good to bring players in. I don't know what Gaz's thoughts are like, if he's going to try and get people from that league or try and get people from the league we've come from. But we'll just have to wait and see pre-season, really.
It's interesting. I suppose one thing we were very impressed by when he was on with us was he's thinking in terms of getting the right type of person. And you talked about the dressing room, Finn. So that getting the right type of person for the dressing room as much as the right type of player, it seems essential.
Yeah, that's the big thing in football, and people don't really realise it. Like, you can make a team of all the best footballers, but they might not gel. You think of some of the Man City sides; they've never really gelled and they've not really won much. But you get teams that gel, and then they go and do bigger and better things. And like in our dressing room, the dressing room is just there's not a single bad egg from that last team that we won the league with, and that's all it's about. It's just staying united, and even players that weren't playing, like they were still giving their all and running after the game, and not sort of throwing their toys out the pram, and that's what it's all about, I think. And sort of just being there from the time when it gets tough, because you never know when you might get called up, and not sulking when you're on the bench, and etc. Like Kenny Pogue, he may not have played as much as he wanted, but he's come on and he's scored goals, and then he's still sat on the bench, and he's always got a smile on his face.
He just still constantly encouraging everybody from the line, isn't he?
Exactly. You may obviously be annoyed. You may be annoyed, like everyone's annoyed they don't play, but the fans don't see it that he's annoyed. He's always encouraging, even when we go like a goal down, or I'll be having like a rough 5 minutes. I'll look at him on the side, and then just be like, "Oh, Finn, just come on," and then you sort of get yourself going again, and then he'll come on and like the goal that he scored the other day, scoring a goal like that. That's a way to. That's what shows what the team's all about, really. And then everyone gets around him, especially with like you said about the Knory situation. Knory scores a goal, and everyone's around him because we all love him. We always give him stick. We always give him banter. Craig gives him the most banter and gives him the most stick. And he knows it as well.
Yeah, I can't deny that. But that is because I love him, though. That's why. I've told him that a few times. I did worry that actually you might not know that I do love him, but I told him enough times.
Gary was saying the other week that the dressing room at the moment, he said it polices itself, is what he said. And that if they bring someone in who's not sort of, get up to their task or putting their weight in, that he said, I don't have to say anything because the boys will dig them out for it.
Yeah, that is true. It's what kind of epitomises that is that when we were, the league was, we need a point or whatever it was just before the Faversham game and those sorts of things, and we're training and a couple of lads are having, I think it was Sam Hassler and Knory were having a row at training, and only like sort of standards because something wasn't how someone else wanted it and they're having a row. And most teams would think, come on mate, you only need a point out in the next 5 games, who cares? But the demand that the boys, don't get me wrong, we have incredible banter, the group chat goes, I'm trying to work in a school and I'm getting 24/7. All I'm getting is my notifications coming through from the Hastings group, and too worried to open them. God knows what's on there. It's a really tight group, but also demand really high standards. And on Saturday I remember Dicko having a go at me for missing a header or whatever it was, and he went, "That's not you," and I'm like, "All right, give me a bit of a breather." But that's no one is too big to take it, and no one's sort of too small to dish it out, and that's what's kind of good about the group, and that's, you know, when you start talking about recruitment and with Gaz, it's the difficulty for Gaz because, you know, it's bringing people in, and yes, you might think, right, we're going to bring people in that are going to improve us for the league above, but it's such a tight group that it's actually really hard to recruit. As you've probably seen this year with some lads, that it just doesn't work out, and that's because 7:25 tomorrow. If it oh, we've got someone here.
Hang on. Gang, we've got the Ashford fan in. We've got the Ashford fan. Fucking, of course, trying to speak. Wanker.
Who's your mate?
John, how's your dandruff?
Terminal dandruff.
Yeah.
I'm having it treated. Yeah, they say the.
Where's it coming from?
Does it good? But
Where's it coming from? You got nothing on your head.
He's got down here his Hastings sub. I love that.
I must say I resemble that. I'm here at Ashford. Do you recognise this place, lads?
Yeah, we seem to have got 3 points there.
Yeah.
That 2-1 we had here was like the turning point. I think he went on a 13-game unbeaten run straight after that, and it kind of, I feel it was amazing, you know, the atmosphere there. But I thought I'd come here, my claret and blue, and
and wind people right up. You better get out there quick. Last thing you want to do, stay there.
They've got a whopping crowd here, about a quarter of what we get for their playoff match. So
you'll still have to wait 2 hours for chips. Ask Robert.
Yeah.
I like the way he's standing right in front of their main stand, slagging them all off.
Yeah, I've had a few funny looks.
They're blinded by his bald head anyway. They can't see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm torn between wanting them to win because it's such a good rival game for us, and wanting them to see them get battered. And so I can't lose. We can't lose in this game. Either way, there's benefits.
Did you cheer when they scored though? Did you cheer?
No, of course I didn't.
It was up.
What is the score?
Yeah, what is the score?
It's 1-0 to Ashford. So it was Craig play it about nicely in the middle of the park without an end result, but really fast, really skillful. Ashford are more direct, and so it's more of a bit of a long ball strategy today, but they, you know, I would say it deserves to be about level, but they've got the lead at the moment. It's getting a bit feisty at times out there.
Keep telling them you're a Hastings fan, that get even more feisty.
Yeah, I don't want to.
John? It was Jay May. Jay May scored.
Yeah, that's right. Not that I bothered knowing any of their names.
He played for us once, so you should know that.
Did he? All right, okay.
Right, then. You come back if there's another goal, John, yeah?
Okay, all right. But have a good round table and see you later.
Yeah, take care, John.
Cheers, take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Oh, well. You're on a roundabout. Just keep going around in circles.
I would if I was wearing that top around Ashford. I'd be paying attention to what was behind me.
He's probably being chased.
Yeah.
Oh, well. It's fair to say that Chris Kamara's job isn't under threat.
No.
What did that pitch at? That was crazy. What did you guys think? That 3G pitch, well, it's like a 1.5G pitch.
It's dreadful.
Absolutely disastrous.
I can answer it. It's absolutely dreadful. It's the it's the worst 3G. I'm very, very surprised that they get away with using it and they haven't had to resurface it because I know Worthing did at some stage for whatever reason theirs was. So I'm surprised that they're maybe I don't know if it's anything to do with the level we're currently playing in, whether they sort of pay much of attention to it. But I didn't think that would meet FIFA standards at this situation, whether it is now. I mean, there's certain areas of it that are actually got holes in the pitch, so it's really tricky to play on, really tricky, and it does make the game a bit of a leveler, and I'm not surprised in terms of Ashford play quite direct, because the pitch doesn't invite you, as much as it's 3G, it doesn't invite you to play football on it. And Cray probably find that fairly difficult, because for a 3G pitch, the ball doesn't roll very true, and it's quite difficult to judge.
Yeah, Craig, your second touch was always a tackle when we played Ashford.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't have it for longer than 1 or 2. That's for sure. I took a leaf out of your book and just kept kicking it off the pitch.
Just like that.
That's it. Can't score from there, mate. As I always tell you, can't score from there.
Oh, it was another thing that made the victory so sweet, I must admit, because the ball just had a life of its own sometimes, didn't it? It's just, crazy. I think they're getting it resurfaced. Is it right? They're getting it resurfaced?
I think so, and I think there's another pitch there. They're getting another 3G laid. They've been given planning permission to have another 3G pitch somewhere. So I think they're looking at redeveloping it, which is, fair play to them. Fair play. Yeah. I mean, they've got a lovely bar, and I know that for sure, because I spent quite a while in there, and we spent quite a bit of money behind there. So
that was a downstairs one, wasn't it? Didn't even know they had a downstairs one.
No, nice though. We spent a while in there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one with Histed was in his mankini?
We arrived just as people were getting off the coach, and Gary got off sort of singing and introducing himself to the stewards, as he usually does. And I think obviously because quite a few more people went on the coach than usual, a few shell-shocked people staggered off the coach behind him, having enjoyed the half-hour journey. It was quite He almost didn't make it in. I don't think he was in a mankini though.
That was the game he put the mankini on.
He might have put it on. Yeah.
I think it did appear, didn't it? Yeah.
That was the sort of thing that was going on behind the goal, chaps. Yeah. That there was this man in a mankini wandering around.
They don't get up that far, Chris. They're the centre halves who are up the other end of the
Yeah.
Only for corners.
I don't know. I think Stoney got a special song at Ashford.
Potentially, I think that. Yeah, I think you're right there.
No, that was the one and only outing of that song.
Yeah, I think was it Ashford or was that? Yeah, was it?
Yeah, it was Ashford. First half.
Oh, great song. Got a lot of time for that. I do remember having a little chuckle to that.
Can you remind us, Adam?
No,
not on
unless
here.
You were there. Unless you were there, you've missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. If you weren't there, you missed it.
I bloody was there. I obviously did.
That was I missed it.
No, it's a long story. We don't have enough time to tell you. Maybe in a bar one day over a beer.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, if Ashford do end up getting promoted, then you'll get another chance next season, maybe, to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we play Ashford again next season, it'll come out again.
Yeah. Love that.
It's annoyed me that I forgot that, because I've been standing right next to Smithy.
You was away somewhere.
Was I? All right. Fair enough.
With the fairies.
Yeah, usually. Right, chaps. Shall we talk about summer plans? Now, Craig, you're obviously going to sign a new contract, so we're not going to have any talk about you playing for anyone else.
Foster's.
Malcolm, can you be my agent?
I've got
to choose between Mountfield and Nicholsham over the summer, so if you can represent me.
Certainly, mate. Yeah,
get me a few crates.
Yeah, who do I have to get in touch with to have a meeting?
I'll send you over the details. Don't you worry.
You should start Nicholson, mate. The pitch is slightly better.
Oh, is it?
Slightly, but Mountfield.
I don't know about that. At least Mountfield gets cut.
Yeah, but it's on the.
It's not as much dog shit either.
It's an ankle breaker.
Yeah.
So which service station are you going to meet in to exchange the brown?
I'm a big fan of Cobham.
Yeah, I was going to. I think it's what the garden centre. That's probably more appropriate, I guess.
Yeah.
Get yourself a nice pair of cotton traders slippers whilst you're there.
Nice fruit of the loom fleece.
Indeed, yeah.
Right, and getting back to the
summer plans.
The summer plans.
Nice
For the
tangent.
younger people.
I'm going to Bermuda.
Oh, are you? Hang on, you're not still chasing Knory's mum, are you?
No, his nan. She actually said, "Come over." She thought, right, I'm on the plane.
Is that his great nan?
Yeah. They were really nice, weren't they? What a lovely family.
Blimey,
That was a real treat, actually, wasn't it?
Really was.
That made the afternoon, and to see her jiggling up and down in the seat when Knory scored was just
that was excellent, wasn't it?
a great.
Yes.
You couldn't have written that. So that did make the afternoon for all. It's a bit disappointing, but you can never take that away from them.
No, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Was that the main stand moment of the season?
It was one of the main stand moments of the season, actually. Yeah, about as thrilling as it gets. I think the funny thing that amused me, look at the photo on her Twitter bio, she's a hairstylist. And I could just see her when we all rocked up thinking, there's no business in this lot. just surrounded by baldies.
Yeah, dear.
Right then, summer plans. Yeah. So, Craig and Finn, what's your summer plans? What you got? Any nice holidays or anything like that before pre-season?
Yeah, Portugal with the boys.
Yeah, Portugal with the boys.
That's the only thing that's on my mind is a summer with it was about 17 of us off to Albufeira. We're all the champions party. So
excellent. How long are you going for? Like 10 days or something? Or
no. We're only going. We never last 10 days. God. Now we're going Friday, Saturday.
Craig's only going for a night, then he's going to shoot back.
Yeah, straight back home. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and come back Monday. So
lovely.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And then other than that, I'll be working until the summer holidays. Obviously teaching. So, and then when the summer holidays come, I'll be back
straight to the pub. Straight to the pub for you when the summer holidays come around.
Yeah, instead of having games, I'll be working and teaching and straight to the pub. Yeah, and then obviously then I'll be back once the summer's over and
once Malcolm's done his business.
We're back. Yeah,
it's worrying because he's going to get lost in Portugal. He got lost in London, so can you imagine him in Portugal?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite concerned. I'll be totally honest. I'm a bit concerned, but I'll
look after you, Craig.
Thanks, Finn.
I'll look after you for a couple more days. I looked after you all season. So.
Well, I was just about to say, mate. Yeah, I'm
going to be like Madeleine McCann's dad.
Remember where you was going with Folkestone, mate, until we pulled you in.
At least you've been given permission to go. I 1 and 2 haven't been given permission to go by their respective misses. That's what I've heard. That's what I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No.
Is that because you're trouble, Craig?
No names here. No, I was just 1 or 2.
1 or 2. Yeah, I'm on. I'm booked. I'm on.
They're not divulging Natalie on, are they?
No. I was trying to have a dig, but
I was going to say, who's responsible enough to be in charge of the kitty?
Jack Dixon.
Oh.
He's incredibly organised, more than you would ever believe.
Very organised.
Yeah.
Doing itinerary.
Yeah.
To
Times.
be fair, you didn't have to even think about that. Straight off the bat, that was
Jack
Dixon. No doubt.
I lost my tracksuit for 2 weeks after I think it was after Faversham, and then we went back to the club, and then we went out after. So I borrowed some of Jack's clothes, and I didn't have a clue what I did with my tracksuit. And he went, "Yeah, I washed it. It's here. I'll bring it back in for you on Saturday." So I had to turn up to the game with no tracksuit, and Jack had it all along. He just kept it for me and washed it. He's that organised. He's that. Yeah, he's very good.
Did it have any ironed creases into the trousers?
It was the best I've ever had it. Put it that way.
That's
proper. Can you see why I'm worried about Portugal? He goes down there in a tracksuit and loses it. What did he wear home? He don't know what he wore home.
I wouldn't have a clue. I couldn't tell you.
Harry's Mankini.
Dangerous that.
What are you going to do without your podcast to do for the summer, Chris?
Well, my wife's not going to murder me because she's she might. Oh, actually, no. What am I going to do? I'm going to relax.
No, you're not with 20 kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
21.
Not a chance, mate.
What's the date of the first one back?
I would probably do it
Next week.
either beginning of pre-season, beginning of pre-season or the end of pre-season, and just review the pre-season. But I'm doing one next week, but that's for other non-league teams. I've got talking to some local teams. Leon will know about that. So
First episode, how do we think Craig will get on now he's signed for Phoenix Sports?
I can guarantee you won't see me there.
Goodbye there, Craig.
You can guarantee you won't see me there.
Phoenix Sports.
You've been great though, Chris. This has been great. You've done a real good job. So
fantastic.
Thank you, mate.
all the guys to be
Do appreciate that.
It's
I know,
true.
it's good for the players going on there and stuff like that. Knory said that he really enjoyed it and he was quite nervous, and he gave us an opportunity to throw a little bit more banter at him as well. Because I said, I don't know why you seem to go on to these things and become Canadian when you're from Bermuda, but players appreciate it. It's been great, honestly. Like it brings, brings the fans and the players and the club a little bit closer. So it's good what you're doing, Chris.
Yeah, cheers, chap.
It splits a few families up. I've taken some shit, mate.
What?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Has he? Well, listen, I've took a lot out what he put in.
I can imagine.
I've took a lot out. I've
You know how
saved
long-
Leon would have been
how long he
cancelled.
was trying to get on here before I actually. Well, in fact, I didn't let him. In the end, he just did it without. Thought I wouldn't find out for some strange reason, and then I see him on there, and he hid for a few days, worried about what I'd say. But luckily, I let him off. He enjoyed it.
It was when it was COVID, Craig, wasn't it? I said I'm going to go on that, and he said, "If you ever go on that, I will never ever speak to you again." So it took me quite a few weeks to work out whether I ever wanted him to, and then I thought, "Oh, sorry, I'm going on anyway."
It makes an old man happy, Chris. So.
Well, it's a beautiful reunion since you haven't spoken for 6 months. Love to see you guys. Yeah, love it.
We need to get that music in the background, don't we?
I've got tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. It's a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure watching the side this season. You lot have been magnificent. It's been great entertainment, and the Hastings family, the fans. It's just a pleasure. So I've got nothing else to say, really. I'm lost for words, mate. I mean, it's
go and enjoy the second half of Man City Real Madrid.
I was going to say, has there been a goal yet?
They're 2-1. They were winning 2-0 quite early on, I think, as well.
God, here we go. That's lovely then.
Half time at the moment.
Nice.
Nice.
Guess who scored Real Madrid's goal?
Benzema.
Yeah.
What's the guy?
He might be a free agent as well, Craig.
Yeah,
Craig knows him.
I'll give him
Is he one of Malcolm's?
He'd probably be on similar. He'd probably be on similar wages to Finn anyway. So I'm sure we could probably stretch to it.
He's on my books.
Yeah. Well, I did say, yeah.
We're obviously paying Finn too much anyway, because the moment he got here, he had a haircut.
Exactly. Yeah, I preferred him with his hair, to be honest.
I need someone to sign me. I haven't had one in ages.
Yes.
There's stuff nesting in there.
You're all right, mate.
Hey, what do you get?
Festival season, mate.
What do you get for playing for Icklesham, Leon?
2 pints of beer, packet of nuts, and salt and vinegar crisps.
Is that it?
And
I'm quite pleased with that, really. Yeah, but if I go to Mountford, it'll be 4 pints, and the driver, obviously.
Leon is their biggest earner as well.
Yeah.
Those 2 pints of packet of nuts. That's
but yeah, obviously, I don't get enough on the Royal Mail, do I?
Oh yeah, Bezos.
What position do you play, Leon?
Again.
All over.
All
over. I still haven't decided. I'm 31 and I still don't know my best position, so I just
depends where the most dog shit is.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He's bloody fast. I know that much.
I don't feel it anymore.
Yeah. Well, listen, chaps. It's been a pleasure. It's been a wonderful season. Windy, Malcolm, Andy, Leon. I'm not going to say Linda. I keep a bit tempted to say Linda. Matt and Smithy, and particular Finn and Craig. I'll see you next season. Take care, guys, and have a a great break.
Again, Chris, thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Chris.
See you next season, boys.
Yeah, mate.
Cheers.
See ya.